Hey guys, Carlos Cortez here. Just got back from Hawaii and I couldn't wait to get back on the camera to really bring up to speed on what's going on. I have to admit, I was out of the matrix for a whole week and only to come back and catch up on some reading and some research, and holy cow, man, there's some stuff that's happened just within 1 week. But I will explain those articles I was reading earlier today, as a matter of fact, and also share some pictures and my experience over there in Kauai, Hawaii, a beautiful place on this earth, and it doesn't even feel like you're in America. Which, honestly, most of them don't even consider themselves Americans. So, lesson learned over there as I got acculturized. However, Russia is already dumping, has been since 2022, been dumping our bonds. What does that mean to us? What does that mean to our dollar? What should we do? Should we panic now? Should we be rushing precious metals of some sort? Should we be rushing anywhere? Well, let's have a conversation about that because, as we know, banks are in turmoil right now. And just recently, as of late, Moody's has declared downgrades for many banks right now, over six of them. And this shouldn't be a surprise to you if you've been listening to us. We've been talking about this from, oh my goodness, since last year. And as you guessed it, commercial real estate loans is the number one topic. So, as I'm learning this new software, as you guys know, I got a new setup here. I'm trying to upgrade everything. But I wanted to just show you that you can literally just see S&P Moody's right here. Here we are. S&P Moody's puts 6 U.S. regional banks on downgrade review over commercial real estate exposure. And as we've been talking about this, it's interesting because and if you read it, ratings agency Moody's placed 6 U.S. regional banks on review for downgrade on Thursday due to their substantial exposure to commercial real estate loans. Long-term ratings of First Merchants Corp and all these public traded companies here were placed on review. So we have Gladstone Financial, WaFd, Fulton Financial Group, Old National Bank Corp, First Merchants Corp, and FNB Corp. These banks have substantially concentrated in commercial real estate loans, which are facing asset quality and profitability pressures with higher for longer interest rates, raising longstanding risks, especially during cycle downturns, Moody said in separate statements. During a low interest rate environment prior to the onset of the Federal Reserve's rate hike cycle, many regional banks choose to build and maintain substantial concentrations in CRE, which is a volatile asset, Moody said, no duh. Regional banks with exposures in beleaguered commercial real estate sector have come under investor scrutiny after the NYCB recent turmoil. Later, our article goes on and talks about some financials, but we know this. We absolutely know that the fact that we have many of these articles, it doesn't mean anything right now. We already know this. We've been talking about this. But yet, if you're reading on mainstream, they're always going to be behind. So imagine if you had a portfolio vested completely in CRE and you were relying on the major media to make changes, you already missed the boat. And so that's what my whole aim is to talk about things before it happens, to make proactive decisions before it happens. This is how we become stewards. This is how we become stewards of our money, our environment. We take responsibility of the information. We're not like we don't care what the left or the right or the mass media is saying. We want the facts. We want the truth. And this whole thing is that it is the truth. Like, we want to speak truth. And it may not fall on your hands very nicely and comfortably and warm, because the truth will hurt sometimes, but we also know that truth will set us free. And it's a universal concept that I want to bring to the table. And here it is. I mean, this is not fear mongering. This is all stems from the wonderful benefits of Bidenomics. It is literally destroying America. And I'm going to pull up the dollar here shortly so you guys can see yourself the manipulation that's happening. Also, we're going to talk about KRE. As a matter of fact, let me pull that up right now. Here we are, guys. Here's KRE. All right, so I don't know if you can see this, but let me kind of go full screen on this here. So we have a death cross on KRE. Now, whenever you see this blue box followed by a red box, basically what this means is it lets our indicator know that the moving averages are preparing. This is our yellow light for the red light, which is a green light in this case. But the blue light is forming basically, hey, that 200-day moving average is crossing over, and boom, it already happened. So we have a death cross on KRE. This was on legit. This was on, oh man, this was right around Thursday, January 6th. So around Thursday, this happened, but no one's talking about it because it's not major news. And obviously, your advisor is probably not watching this the way we're watching it because they have other interests in mind. And what I will say is that it's time to wake up, man. Like, there is a crash coming. There is going to be a crash coming, and it will be pretty bad. Like, we have commercial real estate loans that are just starting the war on the banks right now. We have commercial real estate loans. We have Gen Zers. Gen Zers are feeling the pinch. You know, what's interesting is that Bidenomics have really hurt our inflation story. Because of the printing of the money, the dollar should be crashing. Should be. We're going to pull up the dollar here shortly. It is propped up. And the wages are not keeping up. The wages are not keeping up with inflation. If you graduate college, you probably get a $50,000 salary job. And next thing you know, what on earth can you afford with $50,000? Can you buy a home with that? There's no like starting place. It's either like you are living with your parents or you're buying a $400,000 home right out of college. That's insanity. Like, all of your rent, first and foremost, the banks shouldn't be approving that because it's more your debt to income ratio would be automatically through the roof. And that is just a home. You still got to go to work. You still got to buy food, pay taxes, buy insurance. And you're literally on tilt paying, possibly scraping by with $100 left in your name at the end of the month. By the time you add your groceries, your gas, your insurance, just your cell phone bill, and cocoa prices, commodities are skyrocketing. Guys, it's here, man. Like, this is really bad. This is what we call stagflation. So I thought this chart was interesting because this is KRE and we got a death cross coming. Basically, a death cross, whenever this happens, 90% of the time, we'll see a downward trend, possibly even a market crash in this sector. Now, this sector, if you guys are just tuning in, if you haven't watched me at all for a year or two, KRE is a regional banking index. This has all the regionals that you can possibly think of, and it's not looking good. Now, back last quarter, I said, dude, I don't even know how this is going up. I can't even explain it. And what it was just manipulation. That's what it is. It's manipulation. They do not want the banking industry to crash. And when it does, we're going to be here sitting pretty because we know what to do. We know how to make money like the hedge funds. We know exactly what to do this time around. In 2008, I was just a young kid. I was getting into business. I started my business in 2007. I was 23 years old. I'm now 41. I got some gray hairs, got a little money, and now we have artificial intelligence working on our side. We got scanners. We got experience. And we're going to call this crash before it even happens. All you got to do is just stay tuned. Just stay tuned to Scriptures and Wallstreet. Like, I love this stuff. I live for this stuff. This is amazing. This is like prophetic financial gospel, man. It is awesome where we could see what is happening before it even happens. Now we hear the noise. We hear the noise. And guess what? I don't even listen to the noise because I want to check the charts. I want to check the facts. I want to see the manipulation because at the end of the day, the mirror doesn't lie when you're lifting weights. The blood doesn't lie when you take a blood panel for your health. And the facts don't lie when you will look at the charts. So here we are. Russia dumps $4.4 billion in bonds. Now, this doesn't help the KRU situation. This doesn't help the commercial real estate crisis situation. But a BRICS member, Russia, has dumped $4.5 billion in U.S. bonds over the last 2 years. After the U.S. press sanctioned in February 2022 for invading Ukraine, the central bank offloaded $30 million worth of bonds. The dump in 2022 was just a start. And the country has been steadily offloading U.S. debt in the market. The latest data shows that BRICS members, Russia, dumped a total of $4.4 billion in U.S. bonds over the past 2 years. The sell-off stands in line with the BRICS agenda of the de-dollarization and cutting ties with the U.S. economy. The move adds pressure in the U.S. dollar if developing countries begin distancing themselves from the American economy. Obviously, the U.S. economy has been getting distant from the BRICS as they keep on joining forces. Not to mention Turkey. Turkey has literally stepped in and saying that they no longer want to go to the EU. They just simply want to go to the BRICS. And what I find interesting is the prime minister of Turkey said that there was undenying potential in the BRICS, which I find kind of find interesting and very powerful at the same time because they don't even want to be with the EU. They see more dominance in BRICS than they do in the EU. Now, the EU was playing politics and did not want Turkey for extremely, extremely long time. And they just got fed up with it. Even though they're a NATO company or country, they're going to BRICS. So the BRICS is definitely gaining momentum. The only problem I see with BRICS is that you got a lot of personalities there and a lot of legit communist countries there. I don't see them working it out. But they all have one thing in agreement. They want the US dollar out. So, guys, we can take this for our advantage. We can actually really, really take this for our advantage and position our assets where our money is in a situation where it's safe. And if you're willing to take risk, we can even make money on dollar crashes. I'm going to pull up the dollar here shortly and give you some tips and ideas on what to do. And it's not just buying precious metals. Even though we like precious metals, it's only one layer of the onion. Also, if you're looking for precious metals, definitely go to CortezWealthGold.com. Just type in your information, and you could actually get precious metals at a discounted rate, shipped right to your door. We use Genesis. They're awesome Christian-based, faith-based precious metals dealer. They don't just deal with gold. They deal with palladium, platinum, silver, as well as gold. So you want the major four. And as I said before, precious metals are other things like copper, as well as copper is about to fall. It's actually been pretty amazing what it's been doing. Also like tin. So if you can get a hold of tin, for those of you that don't have money to buy precious metals, start collecting tin. Whether in the cans. Yeah, I mean, you can start collecting that because that's going to be worth a lot of money. The fact that you can't even have access to tin is interesting. So if there's a way that you can crush it and literally turn it into a sheet metal, all the better, because tin is going to skyrocket. Pretty amazing, man, the times that we're living in. Let me share my screen here real quick. I want to bring up another screen. So yeah, let's look at the dollar. as we look at this dollar, guys, I want to just completely just be real with you, man. Like this, I look at this, and with all the news that we see, the BRICS forming, the dollar crashing, the banks failing, like we see so much stuff going on, all this noise, but yet the dollar is still increasing. The dollar is still going up. Like, what say you? What is a logical reason here? What is a logical reason for our dollar to still keep on going higher? Is it because they're going to raise interest rates? Is it because they're cooling off the interest rates? Look, let me break it to you, man. Like, they're not going to lower interest rates this year. They're going to keep it high. I've been saying that since earlier this year. They're going to manipulate it. The media is going to say, "Oh yeah, we're going to get a rate deduction this year." Bro, no, man, they can't. It would be a massive, massive, massive hard landing. Like really, really bad, to the point where it would just be financial Armageddon. Banks will just literally fly over. And we're starting to see banks literally with their pants down right now. As Moody said it, there's 6 banks right now that are going on downgrades. KRE is being propped up. The dollar's being propped up. And this is what this administration does. This is what the government does. They keep on lying to us. They keep on adding money to it. And they keep on just fabricating the actual index in the banks. It is disgusting what is happening. However, we have to be smart about this. We want to make sure that our money is positioned well, so that when all this fails, we still have a dog in a race that makes money when the market goes down, or at least protects our money when the market goes down. Let me say my disclosure here. This is not investment advice. As you guys know, I am a financial advisor, but everything on this show is for education and information purposes only. If you would like investment advice, give us a call, 813-448-3446, or visit my website at cortezwm.com. Myself, Josh, will give you a call or set the appointment up. Cindy or Raz will set up the actual time. We do about 30 minutes. We just go over your concerns, your portfolio, and we can make sure that your portfolio fits your values. It just fits more than just, hey, we want to protect our money from the stock market. Guys, that's old news, man. Like, that is really old news. It's more than just protecting your money from the stock market. It's protecting your money from the LGBT agenda, from ESG, from overtaxation, from this global crash, from this world economical crash. It's more than just stock market losses. It's more than just buying precious metals and calling it a day. What are you going to do with your precious metals when they hit an all-time high? By the way, they're hitting an all-time high right now. Are you selling some right now? Are you taking some off the table? Because anything that goes up will go down. Guys, it's just a trade. Do not get emotionally attached to precious metals. It is just a trade. The U.S. economy will eventually do its thing, and we are Americans. We will fight. We will get past this. We have to make some changes in Washington. We have to make our changes in the election process. We have to make a lot of changes. We have to air out our dirty laundry, and it's going to be painful. We need a market correction. We need to expose them. But I don't want you getting hurt during that. If you're retired, 60 years old, 70 years old, there are things that you could do to protect your money so that you're not just completely all in the banks. The banks aren't as safe as they used to be. You know, back in the day, we put our money in the banks, and we would say, hey, the money's in the bank, dude. Collecting 4 or 5% interest, or 7, 8, 9% interest. Not anymore, dog. Not anymore, homie. It's not that way anymore. Especially when they line about inflation. Inflation, they're saying that they're going to try to bring it down to 2.5%, 3%. And don't let them lie to you saying that Bidenomics is working. That is a complete hogwash. Bidenomics is not working. Ask the Gen Zer that's graduating college right now. 42% of Gen Z is still relying on their parents to get assistance with their living, financial assistance with their living. It is just crazy how expensive homes have gotten. They can't even afford rent, let alone save for a home. It is bad, guys. But my question is what's going to be the worst situation? Worser is not a word, but I feel like it is suitable for this question. What is the worser situation? Is it kids taking care of the parents or the parents taking care of the kids? What's the worst situation? What situation is going to pan out unfavorable? And I think it's the kids. Man, that's a tough one. Because there's more baby boomers, right? There's more baby boomers than any other generation. But the baby boomers don't have the time, whereas the Gen Zers have the time, the millennials have the time to help their parents. So as we get older, you're going to start to see a shift where the baby boomers are taking care of the parents, and then eventually the Gen Zers are taking care of the baby boomers. But if we have a high inflationary period for the next 10 years, basically what's going to happen is the middle class is getting ousted out. And it's been like this for the past 40 years. And it's been hyperextended probably the last 19 to 20 years because we haven't even seen a real stock market. Everything has been fabricated. Everything has been pumped up to the way where Americans can't even afford basic necessities. I find it disgusting. So what is the strategy, Carlos? Well, again, it's not investment advice, but I want to go ahead and let you know that just give us a call. Let's have a conversation on it because this is no longer about NVIDIA. This is no longer about Bitcoin or, what's the best IRAs or precious metals. Guys, if you're just buying precious metals and saying that's it, my money's secured, you got something coming for you, dog. You got a lesson waiting to happen because you got to make money in all three scenarios. There's three scenarios here. There is the market going up, the market going down, and the market going sideways. What are you doing in a sideways market? Right now, we're in that sideways market. We're in a bearish market that turned to bullish, but overall, we're still in a bearish market that has these like bull runs, like they're called bear market rallies. But regardless, the bulls or the bears, it doesn't matter. There's sideways markets. What are you doing right now to make money to protect in your retirement during this course? And this is where fixed income comes in. This is where real estate comes in. This is where liquidity pools from crypto. This is where fixed index annuities come in. This is an environment where you have to take advantage of, where it's going to help you mitigate losses, give you some income while the market consolidates and figure out what's going on. There's nothing wrong being fixed accounts right now. I have clients last year that legit got a bonus, 10, 15% bonus, and they're making 5% on top of that. They legit made 20% last year, kept their money safe. Nothing to balk at. And they're sitting, chilling on the right side of the lane, listening to oldies with the top down, laughing. The whole world's falling apart and they're laughing because they did something about it. They're enjoying sipping on their iced tea, enjoying retirement on things that actually matter, not this stuff. You're too old. You worked your whole life to be messing around with this garbage, man. So get your retirement in order, guys. Like, give us a call. We want to work with America First companies. We want to support the Christian-based values. We want to support America. We don't want to support China and all these other countries that we're trying to fight their wars. We're sick and tired of being the global police when there's single moms and dads and veterans that can't even afford living. Let's do business in America because there is no plan B. There is no plan B, y'all. Well, where are you going to move? To Canada? What's plan B? You're going to move to Indonesia? Where else does that show up in your life? You just walk away from every problem? No, we got to fight. We're Americans. We got to fight with our dollar. When you're traveling, use the dollar bill, y'all. I mean, it's in every rap song, right? From Jermaine Dupri to now, use cash money. Use cash money. Use it. Force them. It's an insurrectionist if they do not accept your money. That's an insurrectionist.
Is it true that if you don't use it, you lose it?
Use it. Force them. It's an insurrectionist if they do not accept your money. That's an insurrectionist. Look it up. Not the January 6ers and their fake plots. You're an insurrectionist if you deny the US dollar. That's legal tender. Straw man or not. I mean, you are an insurrectionist if you deny the dollar. Yes, we've gotten very comfortable with the Visa commercials and Apple Pay and Google Pay. And look, I use it too, man. I'm just as guilty. But the moment they say I can't pay with cash, I walk away. I've had to change 3 wallets in the past 2 years. And I buy these expensive leather wallets that can take a beating. But I keep stuff in cash in them because I'm walking around. I got a family. So we're a family of 6. I use cash, man. It forces them. And that's what I encourage you guys. Look, I don't get paid. I'm not incentivized to tell you use cash. I'm just saying it helps America. It helps our economy. It helps the small business owner. It helps everybody when there's legit organic circulation. None of this printing money that Biden wants to do. He wants to keep on promoting stimuluses and sending money to Ukraine. And now we have Russia dumping our bonds, so they don't even want to pay us. They're not interested in our bonds. So this is going to have a huge impact on our bond market. And it's been inverted for a while. We've had a massive inversion of our bond market. That's another major indicator that I haven't really been talking about. I have been mentioning, but once that uninverts, that particularly that 10-year inverts with that 2-year, you're going to start to see that's the dirty air laundry coming out. But that's when that crash happens, when the uninversion happens. Typically, it's 2 to 3 years after it inverts, we'll see a massive recession. We're coming right at that 3-year mark with COVID, whenever it started inverting. Oh, man, get your money right, guys. Give us a call. We want to help you with some solutions. Again, I can't give financial advice on a national podcast, but we want to make sure that your money is protected. We want to make sure that your money is growing when the market's sideways, when it's going up, down, or sideways, period. Also, the commodities are really, really going to take off. There's going to be a lot of volatility in commodities in the next 12 to 24 months because people are scared of not just the US dollar, but most fiat currencies. And the natural language of currency is always going to be some type of metals, not just precious metals, but all metals. Tin, copper. Let me show you what copper is doing, actually. Let me pull that chart real quick. So, yeah, we look at copper. This is not copper. Let me switch over to them. Look at copper. I mean, wow. Look at copper here. It just blows up right here last month. It just skyrockets. But because of my trading eye, we're going to see, you see how it goes up and it slams back down. We should probably see copper come down to a 50% retracement, back down to roughly 7,000 around this price zone here, possibly even 6,000, conservatively speaking, but it can come back all the way down here as copper trades. And this is simply just a trade. This is why I was saying that it doesn't matter It doesn't matter precious metals, what precious metals is, they all are traded. And you have to just understand that these commodities are extremely volatile and they will trade, because at the end of the day, I don't care about the noise. I don't care about what people's opinions are. We want to understand, we want to take them into consideration, but we also have to realize that copper, gold, silver is just a commodity, and it can be manipulated from the same people we're trying to avoid. The hedge funds, the banks, the gangsters, the banksters, all of them. It is all manipulated. But that doesn't mean you still can't make money in manipulation. We just need to call it out for what it's worth. But let's get on the phone. Let's have a consultation. Let's talk about a strategy for your retirement. You shouldn't have a few $1 million in the bank. You shouldn't have a few $1 million in a stock portfolio, hoping buy and hold is going to help you. Guys, that strategy is long and gone, man. Like the Warren Buffett strategy is not going to work in this new millennium. It worked in the previous millennium because there was no artificial intelligence. There was no AI. There was no Mark Zuckerberg controlling the media. Speaking of which, I didn't realize how much property he owns in Kauai. Absolutely nuts. And he's building the biggest bunker there. The biggest bunker in the world is going to be in Kauai, Hawaii. Why is Zuckerberg doing that? Does he know something that we don't know? Well, I think you guys know what's up. All right. So there's nothing wrong with prepping. We do need to prep for our retirement. The other day, not the other day, it was last year during this time, I had a dream that we were going to be attacked, like a bioweapon attack. And I bought gas mask just for it. Now, I probably will never use a gas mask, but I have it just in case. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. But what I want to say is, guys, prepare for everything. As a priesthood of your home, you should always be prepared for all types of issues, whether it's gas masks, whether it's precious metals, financially, physically, spiritually. We need to be prepared. And guys, I'm here to tell you that financially, I'm more than happy to help. Financially, I'm more than happy to help. I feel that God has placed me on this earth to just spread his word, to speak the truth on Wall Street, to literally open up scriptures on the most evil street on the planet, which is Wall Street. And here I am. I got nothing to hide. I'm not perfect. I'm a sinner. I've cheated. I've lied. I've fornicated. I've done things that are not of Christian-based values. And I own it. It's my mess. But my mess is my message. And so I want to make sure that you guys understand that there are avenues that we can do to protect our principal, our retirement. We don't have to fall victim to all of this. Just give us a call, 813-448-3446. Visit us at cortezwm.com. You can also download our free guide. You don't even have to call us. Just go to americafirstretirementplan.com. I even wrote a book. I will send you our free book, a free copy of our book, as soon as you book an appointment with us and actually hold it. I'm more than happy to send a book to you, and we'll get that to you. If you're a current client, if you want a book, just email me at info@cortezwm. No cost to you. I'll ship one out to you. No problem. Wanted to share some pictures of my trip. Crazy. Since it's quote unquote Pride Month, you know, they have a whole month, but our veterans, our teachers, our dads, our moms, we only get one day to celebrate, but they get a whole month. Anyways, I posted this picture on Facebook and it got out of hand. And all I said was, there's 7 colors to a rainbow, beautiful rainbow, exactly how God designed it. Bro, the reactions I got, you would not believe. You know, and at the end of the day, it's God's natural rainbow. And they take something so natural, and they convert it to their idea, their profile, their identity, which their identity is a sexual preference, which is hedonistic. So when you have a sexual preference that caters to your hedonistic views, that is your profile? That is your identity? I don't get it, man. But anyways, here's that picture of the rainbow. And the rainbow picture didn't come. It was just amazing because here's a picture of my beautiful, gorgeous wife, Sally. She was like, I just saw her and I just, the way the sun was beating on her skin, it was a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful thing to just love on my wife, knowing that I've hurt her, knowing that she still stands next to me, knowing that no matter what has happened in my marriage, no matter what has happened in life, she's always been there. And I just took a moment and I was just grateful, man. Just grateful that she's there thick and thin. And then it was right after that we saw the rainbow. And it was right after that where I realized, wait, this is what Satan wants to take away from us. He wants to take away the natural love. The natural order of love is to love your spouse like Christ loved the church. And he wants to take that away from us. And what that rainbow meant to me was, I gave you a woman. He who finds a woman finds a good thing. The rainbow came, a real rainbow. And to me, that's what it meant. And as soon as I posted that picture, all hell broke loose. I didn't realize how many gay people were on Facebook. Oh my goodness. And the conservatives that backed them up was insanity. They call themselves conservatives when they're the ones trying to put the books teaching how to be LGBT, how to transgender their children. They're the ones that are approving this garbage in your school system. Not on my watch, dog. And then their question was, what if your children were to become LGBT? Would you still love on them? I will love on my kids no matter what. That's not the question. But they won't be gay because they have a father and mother that love each other, and they have a prime example of what heterosexuality is. And they already are attracted to the opposite sex, even at their young age. Everything the LGBT teaches is an acquired taste. You're not born that way. God does not make many mistakes. It's not natural. It's not natural. Even the hermaphrodites that are accidentally born with both genitals, they lean towards one. And most of them end up having surgery to correct themselves. But it is actually the masculinity and the femininity that attract to each other. Man, holy cow. But it was wild because I just wanted to spend time with my wife. And here's a pic of this beautiful restaurant, actually a video of the restaurant called the Beach House in Koloa, Hawaii. They had wild parrots. They legit had wild parrots. Never seen wild parrots before in my life. Amazing restaurant. They had these lobster deviled eggs. I don't know if you guys are fans of deviled eggs. Me growing from the South, I love deviled eggs, man. Oh, and they put a lobster on it. By the way, how ignorant I am, where I didn't know poke bowls were from Hawaii. Like, that's how ignorant I am. Like, I did not know. I thought it was an Asian thing. And they're from straight up Hawaii. So, I love seafood. I love ahi. I love mahi. And here I am, they got these like trucks, these like takeout joints everywhere in Hanola Bay. And I didn't really want some. Look, don't get me wrong. I love a fancy restaurant, but I like going to the food trucks. I like going to the locals. I like having the barbecue all over my shirt and knowing that I had a good $15, $20 plate full of just like local barbecue. Like that's me. I'm cool like that. Like that's what I want. And so that's what I craved. And I literally went there every day. I went to a place called Chicken in the Barrel in Kauai. And they had the best chicken. Oh my Lord. Speaking of chickens, they have chickens running around everywhere. And come to find out, there was a hurricane in the 80s, and the chicken coops that they had, uh, they uh, they just got they just got torn up, and the chickens flying everywhere, kind of like similar to Florida and the snakes, the Burmese pythons. They had them as pets, and they got released into the wild, and they mated. They mated with their local wild birds. I can't pronounce the name, but the actual chickens that are running around aren't full bred chickens, and they're actually like not good, like some type of crow or some type of bird that you don't want to eat. So the wild chickens you would think are hey, let's shoot them up and eat them, but yeah, you're eating like some fawn or some wild bird, some hybrid of some crow versus chicken, and the chicken's not good. So anyways, they're running rampant over there. Let's see here. So yeah, the poke bowls are awesome. And I just wanted to share some pictures, how amazing it is to love on your wife. And I didn't know that Hawaiians don't consider themselves Americans, only on paper. And it doesn't feel like America when you go out there. Doesn't feel like I mean, the island is beautiful, mountains and beaches. I personally would rather just stick to my Florida. I love East Coast. I love the East Coast time. And I like our guns. I like our politics here. I like the beaches. I love the Spanish environment. But maybe I'm just like ethnocentrical. Maybe that's my downfall. Shoot me. Didn't see a lot of churches in Hawaii. We rented a car and just amazing trees. A lot of Asian influence. Tons of Asian influence, and tons of Bohemian New Age uh it, like influence. Like I would see people like pray for the food, and they would do some like weird prayer stuff, and I heard vibes and energies and sectors and no mention of God. As you guys know, I've been reading the 31 Decrees of Blessing, and the daily verse is, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty in God for pulling down strongholds. In Ephesians 6:10 through 17, the Apostle Paul tells us about the weapons of warfare God has blessed us with, or as Paul refers to them as a full armor of God. These include the belt of truth, the breastplate of righteousness, sandals of peace, shield of faith, helmet of salvation, sword of the Spirit. These weapons are not carnal. In other words, they are not actual physical or arrangements, but they are real. They are mighty. They outfit us to walk in victory Christ has given us. When take up these weapons of warfare, we are actually putting ourselves inside of Christ and his total triumph over every work of the enemy. We forget that no matter what you do in this life, there will be attacks. There will be, just for me posting a picture on Facebook, my character was being attacked. My right to freedom of speech was being attacked. My right to my religion was called deranged. That I needed help, and it wasn't just from the left. It was people that said themselves were conservatives and wanted to throw daggers for sharing something so beautiful as simple as a rainbow. That's the world we live in, guys. And is the belt of truth. Like, we have a belt of truth. Our pants are not going to fall, or we won't get caught with our pants down because we have the belt of truth. And right now, it was the belt of truth and the breastplate of righteousness. Like, when you're walking in a righteous manner, your chest is held high. Your belt is strong. You have peace in your heart. You have that shield of faith. Your head is strong because it's full of salvation. And you're on the offense because you have the sword. And so I just wanted to remind you that we have to pick up the full armor of God, as Paul says. And for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty in God for pulling down strongholds. And we are called to pull down these strongholds. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed just me catching up, and I hope you enjoy the pictures and actual scriptures. But yeah, look at, keep an eye on KRE and a dollar. The dollar is going up. It's not crashing. It's not crashing, at least this week. It's not. I'm going to be on the lookout. I'm looking at the actual dollar, and just don't play victim to the ads to force you to buy precious metals, because the dollar is not crashing right now. It eventually will, and we will be ready, but we have some time here. But you better do something. You better do something. Give us a call. We want to help you. 813-448-3446, or visit us at cortezwm.com. Again, everything on this podcast is not financial advice. There are risks to trades, and you need to know what those risks are before you do anything. And I look forward to speaking with you. God bless, and we'll talk soon.